welcome back to the Boletarian Palace. At the end of the last video, we finally opened up the large gate leading towards the beginning of the stage, so we're going to press on and hopefully find a path that leads back to it. Pincer attacks like that are relatively common in this game. The developers will seem like they draw your attention specifically to one enemy, only to have another that you didn't see strike alongside it. In that case, though, neither enemy is directly in front of you, so you feel accomplished for noticing either threat, only to have that confidence dashed immediately by the other enemy. After dealing with this rather impressive ambush, we gain access to a tower very similar in structure to the one that led us to the Cling Ring in the previous video. Also, after getting rid of some pesky dreglings, we see a brand new enemy type, the hoplite. Basically, it's a heavily armored pile of sludge that launches spears from its infinite stockpile at you. It's very difficult to get sufficient damage by attacking from the front. They're pretty easy to deal with though, as you can simply dodge roll to nudge them out of your way and get to their backside. They're also a very good resource for upgrade items early on. Sadly, there are no chains to be chopped down here, just an item that we can use from our inventory to add a certain amount of souls to our stock. Not very much. Pull the lever, and what a surprise! We're back at the beginning. That right tower is much less hectic than the left one. Once again, we can peer past the fog gate to see the general layout of the room, but nothing appears to be waiting for us. While we get ready to head inside, I'd like for you to keep a close eye on that second fog gate on the opposite side of the arena. For whatever reason, the boss doesn't appear until you trigger the fog door. After knowing how effective firebombs are from previous playthroughs, I have to admit I am extremely disappointed with the performance of Flame Toss here. Anyway, this is Phalanx, not to be confused with my favorite boss in Shadow of the Colossus. I definitely can't say the same for this game. Phalanx has little to offer in the ways of difficulty, mostly annoyance. He's a big pile of glowing sludge surrounded by a bunch of hoplites that never cease to send a barrage of spears your way. The more hoplites you kill, the more you lessen Phalanx's defenses and increase the size of your window of attack opportunity. One thing I very much enjoy is how true to his name the boss is. A phalanx was an ancient Greek military formation where soldiers with large shields would cluster up into a rectangle to effectively create a wall of protection. Another thing I do like quite a lot about this fight is that he's heavily vulnerable to fire damage, and the fact that the entirety of the level has ended at this. We were directly given a surplus of firebombs to throw, turpentine to affix our weapons with fire, and also given an example of flames in action with the flammable barrels demolishing everything in their path. With knowledge of his weakness, Phalanx goes down easily. Not a terrible encounter by any means, but not anywhere near the best that the game has to offer either. With the demon defeated, we regain our body and thus our full amount of HP. Don't get too used to it though, as we won't have it for very long. Many of the hoplites defeated in mass have dropped upgrade items, so we're going to nab them before picking up our true reward, the Lead Demon Soul. Every boss drops a soul such as this, and they can be consumed to gain a mass of souls, or turned into miracles, spells, or even weapons. This won't be relevant for quite a while, though. Time to head back to the Nexus.
Welcome back. The monumental awaits the above. The monumental will explain the Nexus to thee.
We're given a vague camera pan and told to visit something named the Monumental, but we have NPCs to talk to first.
Still alive? I am impressed. This is something that might interest you. The black-robed maiden of the Nexus looks after the flames. She's a morose type, with eyes occluded by wax. She can control souls like no other. Bring her the souls of men and demons, and she will embolden your flesh and blood with their power. But beware. Do not devolve into a foul beast. What's happened? Have you lost your nerve? No matter. Have a seat. We can sit here forever. At least we will be safe. What's happened? No matter.
Oh, good day to you. I can forge weapons. No interest, eh? I can tell you're not gonna lie. That hairpin, that belongs to my daughter. Then she didn't make it after all. My dearest little baby. May she rest in peace. May I ask you a favor? Would you mind giving up that hairpin? I'd like to have it in memory of my daughter. You're a saint. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I mustn't forget. It's not much, but please accept this as thanks. I'm a bit ashamed to say, but I found it one day, discarded on the main road. But it seems to possess a strange power. Anyway, I feel that you should have it. It will be happier in your hands. Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch on your belongings, rest assured.
I'm not sure what kind of monster would refuse Stockpile Thomas's request, but regardless, the reward is great. The Ring of Herculean Strength increases your maximum inventory limit by a whopping 50%. Extremely useful for picking up heavy ores, weapons, or armor sets.
If only something could be done to help her. Wait, where are you going?
I always feel so bad when NPCs react that way, especially ones that I like. I'm sorry, Thomas, but I have places to be. I can't always select leave from the menu before I go.
Boletaria Castle. King Aland left on some strange business, then returned with horrible demons in tow. Soon, the land was ravaged by demons and soul-starved madmen. My spine shudders just to think about it. If I did not have my miracle stone shard, a keepsake of my grandfather, I may not have survived.
The miracle stone shard she mentions is actually an upgrade item that she'll give to you if your faith stat is at least 20. But in other news, we have 2 new faith NPCs to speak to now.
A warrior from afar, are you? May you enjoy victory in battle. Umbasa. A warrior from afar, may you Umbasa.
I have sinned. I swore allegiance to Saint Urbain, but was of no use to him. And now I have run away and abandoned his honorableness. O Lord, punish me, for I have not the strength to punish myself. O Honorable One, I hesitate to imagine your present state. Deep within the darkness, where no light shall ever shine, will you continue to pray, even in such misery? O Honorable One, I deep will...
With all that sorted, let's head to the opposite wing to speak with another new NPC.
Are you here to face the demons? If so, please free Sage Frake the Visionary from the dungeon of Latria. I will help you however I can teach you elementary spells. Sage Frake is a gleaming hope for humankind, but I have not the power to save him alone.
Frake's apprentice can offer us quite a few new spells, though we'll only be picking up a few of them for our time with the game. Soul Arrow, which is effective against heavily armored opponents. Enchant Weapon, which can strengthen a weapon with extra magic damage. Protection, which decreases the amount of damage we take. Cloak, which makes it difficult for enemies to detect us. And Demon's Prank, which creates a laughing noise wherever you aim the spell to distract enemies. We're just going to pick up Soul Arrow for now, as it'd be nice to have an offensive attack that isn't tied to an element.
Frake is a great sage who systemized the magic of the soul arts to make it possible for human imitation. By observing the state of Boletaria and the demons within it, he's likely to pave the way for greater things. All the more reason that I must meet Frake as soon as possible. All the more reason that Be careful how you use it. Normally it would not be granted to one such as yourself. I had to make an exception for the sake of Sage Frake.
He asks us to save Sage Frake, which we will most definitely be doing when we reach him. Now that we've spoken with most of the NPCs at the bottom level, we'll start to make the climb up to whatever the monumental is, going up to the top floor that I neglected to explore when we visited the Nexus the first time. This is our destination, but we're going to climb up even higher to find a completely sealed door, the lighting of which doesn't really seem to match up with the walls. This is because we're playing in offline mode. When online, what's called the Pantheon is accessible, which is a leaderboard of sorts that ranks players and shows you their appearance. Of course, it's been rampant with cheaters since day one, but it's a neat concept in theory. Lined up on the walls in this outcropping, we come across what look to be dead bodies lurched over in baggy robe-like garb. Before doing what we have to do, we're going to swing around to the bottom level and grab a stone of ephemeral eyes. If you're familiar with Dark Souls, this is the closest equivalent to a humanity. It's an item that gives us our body back for free, as a one-time use.
We have long awaited you, Slayer of Demons. I am one of the Monumentals. We preserve the fabric of reality. There is something thou needest to know. Once, we too, a scourge of demons faced. In the distant past, under a benevolent rule, the world was united owing to the soul arts. Until a lust for power caused the awakening of the Old One. Across the land seeped a colorless, deep fog, and the world faced extinction at the hands of the demons. Thanks be, we were able to lull the Old One back to his slumber, yet only after the loss of innumerable souls, and half the world lost, erased by the fog. In order to mend the fabric of what land still remained, we entrusted 6 elders with 6 precious Archstones. 1 to the king of a small yet diligent land. 1 to the king of the burrowers underground. 1 to the wise queen of the great ivory tower. 1 to the chieftain of lost and ill-fortuned souls. 1 to the shaman of the tempest-worshipping shadowmen. And the last to the great giants of the northern lands. The Archstones were placed at nodes across the earth. We contained the Old One inside this Nexus and banned the soul arts. Finally, we became monumentals, half-living sentinels of the fabric of reality. Alas, the other monumentals have perished, and only I remain.
By the power of the monumentals, the 4 sealed Archstones have been released.
Now it is your turn. You must lull the Old One back to its slumber and seal it away for all eternity. If not, the deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have you the strength to accept this mission? Yes, we are fortunate indeed to have you. Now, go forth and destroy every last demon. The Old One, without demons to feed its souls, will a new servant seek and lure you to its bosom. We neutralized the Old One and banned the soul arts. Then we spread the Archstones, and in order to mend reality, monumentals we became. However, man's memory of history is o'ershort, and before long he repeated his mistakes. The monumentals perished, and the Archstones were long forgotten. And the short-sighted King Alant once again aroused the Old One. The monumentals perished, and the
King Alant is a character of noticeable repute with the characters of this game. As I'm sure you gathered, the original King of Boletaria is the one mentioned by the Monumental. If you're unsure of everything that's been shown to us so far, don't worry. I think that once we speak to more NPCs and learn more about the world through them, things will come together more. It would appear that King Alant has been involved with quite a bit of business that he shouldn't have my soul form, that much was fine, but I didn't think of the fact that I'd have to climb all the way back up to regain my souls. With that embarrassment behind me, let's speak with the maiden in black.
Brave soul, who fears not death, prithee, lull the old one back to its ancient slumber.
Archstones temporarily connect the diffused worlds. Should you lose your physical form, remember the Archstone. These are our co-op items for online play.
What is it? Dost thou seek soul power? So be it. After all, thou requirest strength. Go forth, touch the demon inside me. Let these ownerless souls become thine own.
As you level up, the Maiden in Black recites an adage long since ingrained in my memory.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel.
We're going to pump our vitality and strength up to the double digits before spending the rest of our souls on leveling up faith to 10. Not because we need it, but because it's the minimum we do need for the faith NPCs to give us the time of day.
Done? May thine strength help the world be mended. Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not? Then touch the demon inside me. As for me, I am only here to tend to the flames. I keep the candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who are trapped here. I keep the candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who are trapped here. I shall await thine return, slayer of demons. I am here for thee, and thee only.
Now that we can, let's chat with them.
If I did not have my
Oh, you must be another disciple of God. I too am on a quest to fight the demons in the name of the Lord. May I share God's power with you? Do not be bashful. We are both cut from the same cloth.
The faith category of spells are called miracles. From this NPC, we can now purchase Heal, which has an obvious effect, Antidote, which cures us from poison, Evacuate, which serves as a reusable shard of Archstone, and Hidden Soul, which makes it difficult for black phantoms to detect us.
A miracle is a heavenly act, but spells are the acts of demons, the work of soul arts. They have similar effects, and yet one is clearly evil, and the other is clearly good. Magicians, in the end, are mere servants of the demons. A miracle, I see. You wish to train yourself in stoicism. Very well. I pray we meet again.
Oh, Honorable One, I hesitate. Will...
Now I'm going to very quickly consume a few soul items that we've collected to pump up my intelligence stat just in order to increase my spell capacity and thus equip Soul Arrow.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not? Then touch the demon inside me. Soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength. Art thou done? May thy...
Are you begging for a magic lesson? Be careful how you use it. Normally, it would not be granted to one such as yourself.
Yeah, Mr. Rude Guy, whatever you say. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.